Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical and welcome back to another episode of Sea Salt Snippets. Today for you guys, we've got some spicy topics to talk about, so without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So first off for today, I thought we'd talk about the inclusion of Kingdom Hearts into Disney theme parks. Now this is something that a lot of us within the community have been wanting for an extremely long time, considering the fact that Kingdom Hearts is a part of the Disney family, and that furthermore, Kingdom Hearts would have to be the most popular Disney-based video game. So with the popularity that the Kingdom Hearts franchise has, you would think that Disney would at least acknowledge Kingdom Hearts furthermore than they currently are within their many different Disney theme parks. But unfortunately, when you go to Disneyland, you don't really come across anything to do with Kingdom Hearts whatsoever. Now, when I'm talking about the inclusion of Kingdom Hearts within Disney parks, I'm not really talking about inclusion to the point of, having theme park rides based around Kingdom Hearts, although that would be the ultimate goal of getting Kingdom Hearts into these parks. I'm talking more on the side of at least just acknowledging that this thing exists. It's pretty damn hard to even come across anything to do with Kingdom Hearts when you walk into Disney parks. I remember when I first went to Disneyland a few years back, I was really excited to actually go into many of the different stores and to see what kind of Kingdom Hearts merch they might possibly have. But unfortunately, when I did go to Disneyland, the only thing that I could actually find in the ways of Kingdom Hearts was an Organization 13 Mickey pin, which at the time, the workers at the cashier were trying so hard to convince me that this pin wasn't actually related to Kingdom Hearts, but was actually Mickey wearing a Jedi's robe. Well, recently Square Enix held a shareholders meeting over in Tokyo, and during this meeting there was a Q&A session in which Shinji Hashimoto took a part of. Well, during this Q&A session, Shinji Hashimoto was actually asked whether or not it's possible that we'll ever see Kingdom Hearts be included into Disney theme parks. The question is, I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. It's unfortunate that the release of Kingdom Hearts 3 has been delayed until next year. Final Fantasy recently collaborated with Universal Studios Japan, but this series is a collaboration with Disney. After the 15th anniversary, it's not just fans who will be buying the games. With news of Disney's upcoming expansions referring to the theme parks, is there a possibility for Kingdom Hearts to be included in some capacity? Shinji Hashimoto said, "Thank you for your suggestion. Since 1997, I've been overseeing the Kingdom Hearts franchise. As a Japanese person, it's been nothing short of a dream to be able to play something developed by a Japanese creator with Disney, especially the same Disney that owns such properties like Frozen and Star Wars. Since Disney has an increasingly high regard for Kingdom Hearts, I'd like to reach out to them and discuss this further. Sales inside Disneyland will certainly contribute to the growth of the customer base." So we're even going as far to the point of Shinji Hashimoto literally suggesting the idea of putting Kingdom Hearts within Disney parks around the world, and I think this is an extremely good start. In case you guys don't know, Shinji Hashimoto is the brand manager for the Final Fantasy series, as well as the co-creator for the Kingdom Hearts series. And the comment that Shinji Hashimoto made towards the end of this, since Disney has an increasingly high regard for Kingdom Hearts, and increasingly high regard, I think it's only within the past few years with the releases of the remixes with 2.8 and obviously getting closer to the launch of Kingdom Hearts 3, where Disney have actually finally started to realize, holy shit, there's actually a fair amount of people who actually give a damn about this franchise, and that maybe we should start doing more things to actually acknowledge it. Kingdom Hearts 3 is without a doubt going to be the best-selling Kingdom Hearts entry into the series so far, and that just goes without saying. This is the first current or, well, next generation Kingdom Hearts title we've ever received. I'm really hoping that with after the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, with all of the sales and just more general interest in the franchise itself, I'm hoping that Disney decide to be a lot more forthcoming with Kingdom Hearts and actually start to acknowledge it more so on a regular basis. The recent advertisement and promotion for Kingdom Hearts 3 has been absolutely fantastic, and there's no doubt that Disney will be backing this. So it is good to see that as of recently, Disney have been a lot more considerate when looking towards the series. I would love to start seeing stuff like Kingdom Hearts merchandise along with the actual games be available to actually just buy at Disney stores within the parks. I think that's really all that fans want. It's not so much getting Kingdom Hearts rides at Disney parks, although, like I said, that would be the ultimate goal. It's just more or less Disney actually acknowledging this. So ever since people got the chance to play Kingdom Hearts 3 within the demo, whether it be at the Kingdom Hearts 3 premiere event or events recently like the Anime Expo, Japan Expo, or E3, a commonly asked question is, what is the difficulty setting of both the Toy Story as as well as the Olympus demo. Now, we weren't actually told about the difficulty setting prior to actually playing the demo, and in fact, even after the demo, we didn't actually get any information towards what that setting is, whether it's beginner, standard, proud, or of course critical. Now, we know that all of the difficulty settings are going to be returning for Kingdom Hearts 3, but exactly what one was the demo running on? Well, within the Dengeki PlayStation interview, Tetsuya Nomura actually talked about exactly what difficulty setting the demo is actually set at, and there's actually some interesting information towards how different difficulty settings could be different within Kingdom Hearts 3. So let's read up on this. Dengeki said, "Is the level of difficulty in the demo equal to what would be called the standard mode in the commercial version?" Nomura said, "I wanted the demo to allow players the opportunity to try all sorts of things and progress through the world. So we set the difficulty to a degree where it'd be quicker to defeat enemies than standard mode. That level was easier than standard mode, but more difficult than beginner mode. It turned out that sometimes the enemies would be defeated before the people playing the demo could pull off the attack chains they wanted to try. And we talked about adding more enemies in the standard mode in the final product." So a pretty interesting slice of information. To start off with, the demo for Kingdom Hearts 3 is running at a difficulty set between both standard mode and beginner mode. Tetsuya Nomura explained that the reason why they've set it up like this is so that it's not as hard as something like standard mode, but then again it's not as easy as something like beginner mode. And this certainly makes sense with the situation in hand. A demo is to of course test the game out, right? Get an idea as to exactly how it's feeling and what it's like. Also, you have to keep in mind that you're catering to all sorts of different playstyles. There's obviously going to be a massive variety of different people testing out the game, so you've got to make sure that it's set to a difficulty setting that's going to benefit both, I guess, hardcore players, but also you've got to keep in mind players who like more sort of casual play. However, though, I was surprised to find out that it was actually a difficulty setting set between both standard and beginner. When I was initially playing the demo, I have to admit that I definitely came close to dying on a few instances. And yeah, in certain situations, especially the Toy Story boss fight at the very end of the premiere event demo, I found to be actually quite challenging in the sense of getting hit quite a lot, taking a lot of damage, and yeah, getting to the point of me almost dying. However, though, the thing that I find most interesting within this news is where Tetsuya Nomura says, "We've talked about adding more enemies for standard mode in the final product." So in the past, when you increase the difficulty in Kingdom Hearts as you go through the different stages that we have, the only thing that changes is how much damage you receive. Never has the difficulty actually affected the game in the ways of adding additional layers. The only additional thing that you would get on a different difficulty level, that being critical, is sometimes you do actually get additional items, and in some instances you even get abilities early. However, in this instance, Tetsuya Nomura is saying that with using a different difficulty setting may actually increase the enemy spawn pools throughout the game. And personally, I kind of like this idea. It kind of adds more to the element of difficulty within Kingdom Hearts. However, though, a decent amount of balancing would have to go into this, because I can imagine that on critical, you're not only receiving more damage, but if it is an instance of increasing how many enemies do spawn, depending on what difficulty you're on, things might become a little bit too chaotic and overwhelming. However, though, this might only be something that affects standard mode. I think this is definitely a welcome change, though, because I did find that although the areas are very big in Kingdom Hearts 3, it means that there is a decent amount of space between one enemy spawn and another enemy spawn. So I think just in general, adding more enemy spawns in is kind of a good idea. You don't want to be running around in these vast, wide open spaces without anything sort of action orientated going on. And last up for today, we have a tiny bit of Spyro news. So finally, Spyro 2 is starting to get teased over on the official Spyro the Dragon Twitter page. Yesterday, they sent out this picture, which looks to be either a concept art of Ripto or an actual in-game image of Ripto. It's kind of hard to tell because in like one aspect this looks like concept art, but then the more I look at this, the more that it looks like it's actually in-game. So I'm a little bit confused by exactly whether or not this is in-game or concept art, but still, the Twitter account is finally teasing Spyro 2, which probably suggests the fact that Spyro 2 is not too far away from finally being unveiled. Personally for me, I was expecting this to happen during E3, but unfortunately we didn't get to see a new Spyro trailer at E3, rather we got to see more levels of Spyro 1 within the different amount of demos. Now, Toys for Bob don't actually have too much time before the release of Spyro the Reignited Trilogy. This is happening in September, and yet we still haven't seen both Spyro 2 and Spyro 3. Like I said, I was expecting this to happen at E3, but because that didn't happen, there is actually another event that is happening later on this month, which is San Diego Comic-Con, which is generally a pretty big deal. Not only that, but Toys for Bob are actually going to San Diego Comic-Con to hold a Spyro Reignited Trilogy panel, and I would say that Comic-Con is a likely event where we'll finally see Spyro 2 unveiled. Like I said, Toys for Bob don't have too much time before the release of Spyro, so it's a matter of making use of these final months leading up to the launch of the game to promote the game in its entirety. Show us Spyro 2 and show us Spyro 3. I would say August is going to be the place in which we will finally see Spyro 3, most likely at Gamescom, but for the time being, Spyro 2 I feel like is not too far away, which gets me super excited. You guys should know that if you have played the Spyro trilogy, number 2 and 3 are generally the more highly regarded games, mainly because they really push the series further, especially in the ways of both mechanics and controls. However guys, that's all for today's episode of Sea Salt Snippets. In the comment section down below, let me know your thoughts and opinions. With all that being said, I'm Cynical. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.